Okay, this one is foreign. I will not know that I'm recording now.
You see it on your screen.
It's not
It will
your
be
guy.
floating.
Okay, it's all
Okay.
this side of it.
Yes, we're floating there.
Okay, that's nice. All right, let fire down. Where do we stop, guys? Where do we stop? Where do we stop? Where do we stop? So okay, um, so like I told you guys, please if you don't understand anything, ask question. Right? Make sure you ask me questions if you don't understand anything. I'll make sure that I'll be very very explicit on my explanation. Be rest assured that if you don't understand any of this code from here, ask me. So like I told you,
No, start number 8, sir.
number 8. Okay, so what we did here, are you getting me? Um, what we did here, you first let me comment on it. What we did there was to create a variable called today. So we are create if you want to create a new date, you use the words the date function. So this actually will give you the date, a new date. So if you come to the log and then you come here, you will see we have today's date, which is 17th 2024. Then you have the time, we have the minutes, then you have the second, right? And if you want to display the time using international standard organization format, which is formatted in this way: the year, the first number, second to the biggest, the largest, second to the largest, and third to the largest. So here we have your year, we have your month, then you have your day. So here you have t, right? This t would split time and date. So if you want to convert it, you use dot what dot this iso stream to iso stream. So the iso stream, what iso stream does is that to give you this format, right? This format. So let's see what's going to happen if we split this to i2 iso what iso stream. So basically dot to iso stream. Then let's see what's going to happen. Then when you come here, you see that here we have the dates, which is what we have in this explanation: the date, the month, the year, the month, the date. So that we have here the month, the year, the month, the date. So here we have t. So t apparently will split the time and what and the day. So for us to be able to split this, we need to use what we call to split. So we did a few about the word split. So split is actually, we split is a method that split a stream into what, into array, into a stream of what, subs, arrays and arrays. So if you recall when we learn about array, so array are list, right? They are in a list that comes with what, index, what, numbers. You can be accessed using the word indexation. We did that in one of our previous class. So we just need to split this dot split. Then when you want to split from where we have the t, right? So where we have this t, you can see that we have split it. So when you split it, you only have one index. Are you seeing it? But there's no way you can separate the dates and the time. Are you communicating? Okay. Go
Yes,
ask
yes,
question.
we are hearing.
Eh? So the
I,
person.
I can hear it for him.
Eh?
I can hear it for him. He's not more responding. Let me hear it for him. We can understand it.
The person who ask question don't sleep. People are playing with me. Oh. So we need to
Fire on, sir. Fire on.
Are they here, sir?
we need to split this using the t. So we can split this time and what and date. So we'll use this as a stream. So we learn about stream and numbers Then we split this. So you can see here we have this 0 stand for what? Stand for what, Mr. Question? 0 stand for what? 0 stand for what?
Zero start from the year, the month, and the day.
So what we
Which
need
is
to, what we want to get is the month, a year, and
the
what,
day.
and the day. So we just come here and put this. Of course, you know that we're getting the month, year, and the what, and the day. So this is what we have. That's how we did that, and I believe that I have answered your question. If you don't know that, it is what it is for you. So let me comment on this and use what I've used before. So let's quickly see what we are getting from the form.
You didn't comment on that one.
Comment on both.
Okay. All right. So it is what it is. All right. So let's submit the form. So when we submit the form, we have this, right? So so we look at here, right? So I want you to look at something. So we look at the targets. So are you seeing where we have the target? So in this target, when they click on this target, but be like say this in a, I don't know if you drag them come this side. This new technology here. Alright, so there's no way we can. Okay, let me. Okay, so if we click on here, right? So when you click on this target, are you guys hearing me? Are you there?
Yes, boss.
Yes, sir.
So when you
Yes, sir.
click
Yes,
on this target, right, you will see that the target, look at my hand now. Have you seen it? The target is talking about, it's actually calling the whole form. So inside that whole form, we have the title, which is index of 0. So we have the date picker, which is the index of what? Of 1. We have the button, which is the index of what? Of 2. So the same thing also, we also have what we call ROC element. So which is the title, index of 1, index of date, and index of what. So we're having the hash, which is the ID. So when it comes to the dates, you will see that we have the words, the date picker, right? So we come here, we have the word, the date picker. That's why you are seeing this hash on this date. Is there anything you don't understand within this and this? Is there anything you don't understand? This targets and then source element. Is there anything? They are all the same thing, right? So like I told you, what we need to get is we want to get this input and word and the date. Are we communicating? Are we communicating?
Yes.
So what we are going to do is that we either use this or we use this. So which one will you use? Should you use targets? So inside the target we have 1, 2, and 3. Should we use target or should you use source element? Which of them?
Target.
Okay, let's use
Target. Target.
right? So what we are going to do here is that we'll come here and inside this form, inside this function, so we want to get first, we want to get the title, right? The title of the form, of the input, right? So what we are going to do is that form dot what? Dot what? Are we communicating?
Target.
Yeah.
Target, sir.
Let's see. Form dot target. But we need to save this thing in a variable. So what variable are you saving this? So let's screw up here a little bit. I want to save all these things in a variable. So I want to save this thing in a variable, right? So that I can use them. Are we communicating? So I want to save this from the target. So target of 0. Let's see console log. I'll remove that from the target so that we can see it. Let's submit it so that we can see the target. Submit, right? From the target. So the target, let me copy this. From the target 0. So 0 is for title, right? So why input is for date. So I want to get just the 0 and 1, right? So we come here, console.log, console.log, then we say form dot what, dot targets, right? So what are you getting? So from the target we are getting let's get
0.
0, right? 0, then dot value, right? So you know what the value is, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So the value, so let's see what's going to happen. Let's hit the submit button. So let me comment on this, this form. Let me comment on this. So yeah, submit. What are we getting? I think you are not getting anything. So let's come back here and try to form the target. Form the target value.
Now, did you enter anything?
Let's see. Let's check something. If target do not work for us, you can use another thing. So let me submit. Okay. So from the target is getting this form, but we are getting the
It was
value. Okay, we
empty.
didn't add anything.
It was empty.
We didn't add anything. So let's say welcome, right? So let's submit. Okay, we need to put back that value, right? For us to be able to get this, we need to put the value, right?
Yes,
So
the value.
do dot value. All right. So so welcome, right? So you can see that we are getting the word, the welcome. So we also want to get the dates. The date, we can duplicate this, and we have here which is 1, right? Let me add the dates, which is today's date, and then welcome. So you can see now we are getting the dates and the title of the form. Are we communicating?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
now the next thing I want to do, right? The next thing I want to do here is that I want to store this, the title and the date in a variable, in a because I will use it in populating my DOM, right? So I want to save it in a variable. It's using a global variable. Can you tell me how to get a global variable? Any idea? We use let, right? So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to initialize the variable, because I will use it in my DOM. I'll say count down title, right? Count down input title, right? Equals to, I'm not passing anything. Let me quickly close this. Then let is the date, right? Are we communicating?
Countdown date.
Countdown date. Countdown input date. So equals to, I'm not passing anything, I just leave it. So what we are going to do, we are going to use this because we are using let, that means we can reassign what, this variable. Are we communicating? But this cannot
Yes.
be reassigned, but this can what, be reassigned. So let's quickly reassign it. So here we can say getting the form input, right? So I can just call this and then reassign this equals to, right? Then call this, then reassign this equals to, is there anything you don't understand here? Is there anything you don't understand on
Everything
this
is
code?
fine, sir. Everything is
We are
fine.
fine. We are fine. We are fine.
Perfect. So now we've been able to get our what's that called? So if you console.log these two, you can see what we are going to get. Console.log, we've done that before, so that it may not look like I am doing another thing. I can say input title, countdown title, then
There's an E in the input.
okay, then input date, then we'll have your countdown date. So let's go and submit and see what's going to happen. Let's say OTX graduation, right? Then put this here and then you submit. So you can see that the OTS graduation, the date we're having this date. So we are like getting almost everything that we need. So let's also look at how we can be able to utilize this information. So what we are going to do next, is that we are going to calculate, populate the dates of our function. So we want to get the dates, right? Because we need to do some mathematics here, which I'm going to be very, very explicit. So we are getting version of the current date based on let's say based on our countdown that we are using. So we need to get the version of these dates. So what we are going to do is that I'm going to also create another variable here. I will say let's so this variable will be like countdown current date, right? Countdown current date, which is cool. So I'm going to assign this into a date. So you better assign it to a date. You notice that you change to a what, a date object, right? So that's what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do here, I'll come here. Let me comment on this. I no longer need this. So I'll come here. What I'm going to do here is very simple. I'm going to get the version of the current date and update it on my DOM. So I'll say, yeah, we'll say get version of my current what date, right? So get version of what on my current date. Now I want to show you something. So version of my current date. So I'm going to get the version of my current date. That's what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do here is that I'll call this function down here, and then reassign it to the current date, right? So I'm going to say new date, the new date, then so inside this new date, right, I'm going to pass the date where we are having, which is our date, which is what the input date here, right? The input date. Now if you console log this, let's see what's going to happen, right? Let's see what we are getting, right? Let's see what we are getting. So we're going to do that quickly so that we'll see what we are getting. So if you come here and say console log, are we together? Hello?
Yes, yes, sir.
So
Yes,
console
together.
log,
Yes, sir.
all right, console log, we have this date. I want to comment every other console log, so let's go and choose the date, 20, and then just say hello. So let's console log this, and you notice that the version of our date that we're getting is Saturday, April 20, and the time. So this is actually getting the whole time, right? Now if we do this dot get, if we do dot get time, so let me show you what we're going to do. Dot what get dot get time. So dot get time, dot get time, and then let's console log and see what's going to happen. So dot get time, welcome, and then we'll see a different thing. Now if we do get time, this is what we are getting, right? So this time converted to dot get time, this is what we are getting. Now can somebody tell me what is the meaning of this? Why are we getting this number instead of getting the exact time? Any idea? Any idea? Okay, fire down.
The get time only displays the number of milliseconds.
Okay, good. Now let me explain it to you further. So we have get time, right? So get time, where is that get time? We should be able to have it here.
It's
Get,
up, we have passed it.
You don't pass
Don't
them.
pass them. Go up.
so
And
now
that's it.
the get time, when you click on this get time, let it reload so we'll see what the get time does. So we click on this get time. So we are going to look at this, how to calculate the get time. Now the get time now will get, let's scroll down a little bit. So the get time now will turn the numbers of milliseconds since 1970 to date. So in milliseconds since 1970 to date. So that's what get time will give us. Now that's how you can be able to get exact time. In every programming language, you need to do some mathematics and be able to get that. So this get time returns the numbers of years. So the numbers of day, milliseconds. So if you are confused about millisecond, let's come here. 1000 milliseconds make 1 minute. Are you getting me? So 1000 milliseconds make 1 second. 1000 milliseconds is equal to what? 1 what? Seconds. That means 60 seconds. 1000 milliseconds times 60 will give you 1 what? 1 minute, because 60 seconds is equal to what? 1 minute. Are we together? Are we communicating?
Communicate.
Now this is how you convert time. So 1000 milliseconds is equals to 1 second. 2000 milliseconds is equal to 2 seconds, right? Then 60 1000 milliseconds times 60, which is 60 seconds, will give you what? 1 minute. Are you getting me? Then to get an hour, the 60 minutes, which is 60 minutes times what? Times 60. Sorry, this 60, what we are getting here is 60 minutes. Yes, 60 minutes times what? Times 60 will give you 1 hour. Now, to get a day, it's going to be a hour, are you getting me? Times 24 will give you a day. We are going to do this calculation to see how we can be able to convert this. Now, when it comes down here, they say divide the time with a year. So, the current time you are having divided by what? By a year will give you this. Don't worry, we are going to do this mathematics. Very, very simple. But what I want you to understand is that the get time would get the what? Will return numbers of milliseconds since what? 1970. So that's why we are getting the total numbers of this information here. So this is numbers of milliseconds since 1970 till now. So we are getting how many trillion is this? So those that are good in mathematics, we are able to calculate to know how many trillion or how many billions of milliseconds that we have. It's about 50 years of something years. I don't know. But if you calculate that, will give you how many years that we have. So this is the time. This is the millisecond you are having. So this is what we're having. So we are now getting the current version of our time, right? In line with this time. So remember, this time we are not getting this time randomly, but we are getting it from what? From our form. So we pass in here, will now give us the what? The current date countdown. Any question before I move to the next? Any question? If you don't understand, just ask a question.
No question, sir.
Okay, good and fine. So the next thing we are going to do is that we are going to update this time. So we are going to convert this time. We are going to convert this time to where is that date? Where is that date? Where is that date? Oh, I did not date. Because I closed that date. Okay. So what we are going to do now is that it's very simple. We are going to calculate the numbers of years since 1970, then convert them to minutes, seconds, minutes, hours, and day. Right? But before we do that, I would like us to get some information here. So let me come to the HTML. So in that HTML, when you scroll down here, you will see that this is actually what we are going to update. So I'm going to remove the title, because the title will be the title of what we are getting dynamically. We are going to get this dynamically. We are going to get this, sorry. We are going to get this dynamically. We are get this dynamically. We get this dynamically, right? So we are going to get this what? Dynamically, right? So, so what we are going to do is that we are going to get this information, all this information, this from right from the countdown button. So we are going to get it and then to our JavaScript. So I'm going to start with this. Any question?
Yes, sir. I have a question, sir.
Okay. Fire down.
Why do we need to move the HTML back into the JS?
Okay, the reason why we need to move this HTML back to the JS because we don't want to get this information manually, right? So for us to be able to populate this, the time based on what the user is putting, we need to, we are not moving it manually. I'm calling it using the ID. So we are not copying this to move it to HTML. No, we are not doing that. So what we are doing is that we are targeting this using the ID. so that whenever we want to add anything here, we just call this ID and add whatever we want to add. I don't know if you understand.
Very well, sir.
We're not moving it manually, so we just need to copy this. So what I'm going to do here is that I'll come to the up, to the top, to the up, to the top, to the top. So here I'm going to have another section. So here will be get count down time, countdown information. So we are going to get this, sorry, const, then we'll move this here, countdown title, a title element equals to document dot get element by ID. So moving this here. So another one we are going to move here is the title, countdown title. So const countdown. So we're going to move this equals to document dot get element by ID, and then we're going to move this. Any question?
So I'm looking at line 10.
Okay, line 10, right?
Yeah, that date I
Uh,
see there being assigned to countdown current date. Where is
Yeah.
the date from?
So we are turning it to a date object. Yes, you are just trying to turn it to a date object, because the reason why I turned it to a date object, we need to turn this to a date object, then create a new date, then here we are passing in this input data we are having, then here we are converting it, we are getting the milliseconds is 9070, then which we are going to do the calculation later. You grab?
Okay, sir.
Exactly. So please always close your JavaScript, please. Yeah, I need to do that now, so that when you're having error, you know where your problem is coming from. You understand? Do not blame village people. So let me log this. Let me comment here. So the next one we are going to get here is how many do we have here? So we're supposed to have so we're having this, so we need to get this, right? So we need to have countdown button, so we need to get the countdown button first. So let's get the countdown button. Countdown button. So we're going to do document. Oh, really? Skyline, what are you doing? Trying to do something, bro. All right. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's no problem. All right. I told you this class is for the strong guy, not for the weak. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. All right. The last one we are going to get is where we are going to get this. So we are going to try to get all this. So what we are going to do is what variable will I use for this? I have to use time elements, right? Let's say const time time elements equals to document dot get dot not get query selector all. So the query selector all, we are selecting all the spam, right? So this, we are selecting all this information, right? All the spam. So you can only do this if you are having only just few spam. So then let's go to log and see what's going to happen on this console log. Let's and see what we are going to get on this term element. Boom. All right, so let's come down here. You notice that we have a node list, right? So in that node list we have spam 1, spam 2, spam 3. So we have a total of spam 4. So if you want to update them, we use this index to update them, right? So you can see the spam here by index. Any question before we move to writing other code? Is there anything
No,
you
sir.
don't understand? Start from this down to the bottom. Is there anything you don't understand that is foreign? Ask a question. Okay.
So it's still on that line 10.
Okay.
Um, I was thinking that turning something to a date object is by using the new date.
No. Now let console log this. Sorry, we'll see. Go to log this. So let's see what's going to happen. It's going to give you a date object. Have you seen it? This is giving you a date object.
Yes, sir.
So we are converting it to a date object. So that's what makes it convert it to a date object. If you remove this,
Yes, sir.
the color will change. Have you seen it? From green to another thing.
So what if we leave it empty and use it as we have used it on line?
if you leave it empty, it
I,
is not possible to get the exact date. So you need to convert this to a date object first. So you're seeing this as a date, right? So then you now create a current date. So current date you are creating is that you are getting this date from the date from here, passing it here. So already have the current date, which is a date object you are going to use to get that. So you pass in the new date object, right? If we do this, right, do this, let me show you something. Let me show you. Come down here, do this. Let's use 2. Do you notice something? It didn't turn green. Are you getting me?
yes, sir.
Yeah, because it's not. It can't. This is not a date object. This is just a variable. This can only give you the current date, but this will convert this to a date object. I don't know if you understand.
I understand now, sir.
Okay, that's fine. All right, let's move on. So we've been able to get this information. So the next thing we are going to do, is that we are going to populate our countdown, right? So we are going to populate what? Our countdown. So what we're going to do is that we are going to come here to create a variable. I'm going to create a variable, a function. So the function will be fun. So we want the function that can use to populate all our countdown, right? So where we have updates, countdown dump, DOM, right? Updates, right? So we are going to use update what? Countdown what? DOM. So this is what we're updating, countdown DOM. So we are not passing any parameter here, and we want this man to work whenever we submit, right? Because if you want to update, the countdown can only come if you submit information, right? So we want this man to be able to work under this parameter. So whenever you are running this man should run. So let's confirm if it's really running. So let's console.log you can say we just update our countdown DOM. All right, so let's go and submit and see what's going to happen. Submit this information. So welcome. They hit the submit button. So it's working. We just update our countdown DOM. So when we submit, what should happen? So let's quickly go back there. So whenever we submit, so what we are going to do is that we can say, we can come here and say let's countdown DOM, right? So let's countdown what DO what which stand for document object model. So this is what we've been able to do. So let's remove this. Now what are we populating? So the first thing we need to do, right, the first thing we need to do here is to create a new date, right? We are going to create a new date first. Create the current date. The current date where the person created this DOM. So we can say new. We can say current date. Current date equals to, how do we get date? The current date. Can tell us how do we get the current date? The current date. So what we are going to do, we get the current date, new date, right? So we get the new date since by in milliseconds dot get time, right? Since 1970s. So we get this milliseconds. So if we console.log here, console.log .log, then let's get that. So now if you submit this, you can see we are not getting anything, because the reason why I'm not getting anything is because we need to get information here. Then with this information, you can use it to calculate whatever we are doing here. So let's put this down and boom, root. You can see what we are getting, the current dates and the other dates. Are we communicating or we don't sleep?
We are here, sir.
Yeah, communication.
Any question you want to ask? Any area you don't understand that you need to ask question?
Everything is fine.
Are you sure?
We are following, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So so here you can see that this place is just getting the current date. Now what we are going to do, is that if you look at what we have here, if you look at what we have here, let me show you something. So if you look at what we have here, let's go to that man. Why is the man not responding? JavaScript date. So you see that there's some calculation here, right? So we are going to do that calculation, but what I need to do is that I'll come here. So what I will do here is that to get the distance between the current time, the distance between the current millisecond. So you are aware that this whatever is here is in millisecond. Are you aware?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Now, so
Sure,
we want to
sure.
get the distance between the millisecond, which is the current millisecond, to when we are creating our event. So remember, creating of this event, this is where we are getting it from. If you scroll down to this function, this is where we are getting this event date. Then remember, we're passing this event date here, which is using this event countdown event current date, which is this variable that is here. right? So we want to get the current date, current date by milliseconds, and the date of our when we are having that event by milliseconds. So what we are going to do is that the date that we are having that event minus our current date. So that will give us the total distance. So what we are going to do here is that distance between this, we have we need to pass a constraint here. So we can say const. We didn't even, sorry, we need to save this in const. People did not even correct me. That's not, don't sleep. So
You are still here.
here we are having const. Then so what we are going to do here is that the distance equals to, so what equals to, then we are going to say the dates, which is here, which is what is here, the date of our event, right? The date of our event in millisecond, right? Minus milliseconds since 1970. So this will give us the distance between this and this, right? Then we will say console.log. That's what we're going to have, console.log. Then we'll have a distance. So let's say the distance and the current date. Let's say distance date so here we're going to have a current dates. Alright, let's go and hit submit button. So when you look at it, you can see the distance is not giving you anything. Now the reason why distance is not giving you anything is because the distance must have the distance between this, right? Then we click here, you notice that distance date, current date, okay, distance. You can see distance date is having what? This. So this is the current date and this is the distant date. So a distant date is like the date, current date minus the date of this event in milliseconds. So you are going to use the distant date to be able to calculate our time in second. Is there anything you don't understand here? Anything that is a bit trickish you don't understand why we are doing what we are doing? Any question?
Yes, sir. Please, the starting from that constant current date equals to new date, get time. That place, I don't really get it well, sir. Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
now this is what's happening here. Current date, we are getting, remember I told you this get time, we will get time from 1970 abi in millisecond, right?
Yes, sir.
So we are getting the current time. So the time where this person click on this form, we are getting the time, which is not in normal time, but we are getting it in millisecond. You grab?
Okay.
So let's
Okay.
assume that is our current time. Then this time now, the countdown current time is getting the time when the person is having that event in milliseconds.
Okay.
So what we are doing is that we are calculating our current time minus the time of that event. It's just that our current time is today. Minus the time of that event, tell me how much you give, how many days we will give you. Let me event in 2 weeks time. Today, which is minus that date in 2 weeks time. So today is 18 minus that time when you have that date in 2 weeks time. You will see how many days we're giving you. So we are getting the remaining date, which is the distance.
Okay, sir. I understand. Sir, please, I understand that one. But there's another question. this dot get time. Does it mean that this dot get time we get from the previous, like past to the present
Yes, in milliseconds. It get from
in milliseconds?
1970
Yeah,
till now
yeah,
in
exactly.
milliseconds.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
Exactly. It is what it is. So you buy me beer tomorrow. Right. So now I believe we all understood all this code from this to this angle. So if you don't understand any of it, please, if you are awake, call my attention. I will respond to you. All right. So let's move further. Now, what are we going to do next? The next thing we are going to do, we are going to calculate our time, then be able to get time in seconds. Aha, this is where mathematics comes in. I'm not of you know maths. Oh, but I need beer. Chai! I don't like beer, oh God. It's not that after I didn't sleep by now, I will be awake till 6. Then I will then start sleeping. All right. So what we are going to do is quite very trickish. So 1 millimeter make 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter make 1 kilometer. Right. So what we are going to do is that if you look at this, right? I'm going to first of all. Let me speak like you people. I'm going to first of all come down outside here, right? Not on this function, outside here. Then I'll say const a half second. How many millimeter make 1 second? Millisecond make 1 second. Huh?
1,000
1,000.
millisecond.
1000 milliseconds make 1 second. Please, my brother, people should always tell me to close my code. I don't really know what's wrong with me. Let me comment on this. So, getting time. So then, to get minutes, what are we going to do? So let's say this is 1 second, Abi. 1 second, right? Yeah.
Yes,
So to
yes,
get
yes.
minutes, what are you going to do?
Yes, boss. Yes.
To get minutes, what are you going to do?
1,000 times
60 times 1,000.
1,000 times 60. 1,000 times 60.
Do you agree? Who disagree?
Yes, yes.
Yeah?
We agree.
Okay, fantastic. So we say minutes. I tell the spell that minutes. Okay, minutes equals to 1,000, which is second, times what? 60. So how are we going to get hour?
60 times 60 times 1,000.
Count minutes equals, is it minutes or hour? What am I doing?
Hours.
Hour. It's not hours. It's hour you are getting. It's not hours. Something like that. You are not getting hours. There's only 1 hour you can get. No, we so. So, oh yeah, let's go. Oh yeah, now, mathematician.
So minute times
Minute
Minutes
equal to second.
equals to seconds.
minute multiplied by
Second, yeah.
times
Times 6.
Times 60.
Why is this times 60? Tell us why it's times 60.
Sorry,
times
times
seconds times
1,000.
60.
Tell us why is it times 60.
60 minutes make 1 hour.
60 seconds make a minute.
Okay, so this is this is a minute, abi, right?
Yes, yes.
Times 60.
This is 1 minute, abi, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So 60
Yes.
second, 60 minutes make what?
So times
Hour.
60. Yeah,
So we
that's
can
it.
say this is one what? Hour, right?
1 hour.
So we are getting days, right?
Yes.
Days. So let's go. How many hours make one day?
24 hours.
Huh?
It's day, not days. Day.
Day rather. Sorry, no verse.
Yes.
How many hours make one day?
24.
Huh?
24.
4 hours.
So so it's good.
24.
Yeah, that's hour times 24.
Hour times 24. Times 24. That is 1 day. Is there anything you don't understand here?
You are good, sir.
So this how. Excuse me.
Hello, sir. You know do week.
Huh?
You know do week.
No, now how they do week? That days now. What we need is days. Days,
It's days.
hours.
It's days.
Yeah, it's an event now.
You go still do month. If you go do week, you go do month.
What did they do month for? We don't need all those things. We do it by ourselves. What we need is what we are doing. Why would you not? We are not using them now. So why are we doing them? You can explore by yourself. Do all those ones. How many people that work? If you that work, give me thumbs up. Man, how many people they stronger in this? If you are work, give me thumbs up.
I don't sleep. I don't sleep.
Jeff. Oh, but only 3 people that week. I was 2, 3. Only 3 people that week. 4, 5, 6.
We are all awake.
I remember when they go to all of them do double. Indicate if you are awake. Man, how many people were there awake? Man, how many people are going to take a serious student? Oh, no, be serious student. That's only 5 person there awake. Oh! You see, all our cup of fear are choosing. This is a programming account. Alright. Okay, let's fire down. So now we are going to convert. What we are going to do now is that we are going to convert all this time. So we are going to convert all this time to get exact time using this. So remember, this is we are getting this from our input, time input, not this. So we are going to use this time to then convert this to date. So can anybody tell us what to do here? Can anybody tell us what to do? So when we come here
To do what, sir?
to be able to convert, to get our exact dates, convert the milliseconds to exact time. So look at what they did here. Because we've done this one, so divide time with year, right? So the current time, which is our distance will now be divided to each of these, right? Then we'll be able to give us the current time. So let's say we come here and then let's have something like so we are going to say convert the milliseconds to real time. Real time. So So what we are going to do here, remember, is inside this function we are doing it, right? Not outside the function. So this is outside the function. So what we're going to do is very simple. It is what it is, and what it is. So I have a const days, not days. Days equals to. So we have
Hey, you
distance
days.
is days, not day.
Yeah, this is a new
Distance
variable.
divided by day, right? Which is this day that is here. So this will give us the days, right? So the days will be based on what we are choosing here, right? Based on what you are choosing here. So let's console log this and see what it's going to give us, right? It is what it is. So this. So let's go and add. So if you say my let's say the event the event this is or event it event the let me just leave it out for a bit. Right, so let's come down here, and then when you try to submit, the event day is nil because we are not passing anything here, right? So let's see event date. You can see here we are having today is what we 18th. Then in 2 days time you can see that we are having two. Have you seen it? Yeah, the event is in 2 days time, but now the problem we are having what 2 dot 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 dot. Are you getting me? So if you come here and put 3, remember we are getting it. It's 3. Right? So 18, 19, 20, 21, which is 3 days. But we are getting this dot dot dot. So how can we convert this thing to having an integer 3? Or a whole number?
Mat of floor.
We use what?
Mat of floor.
Mat of floor. So
Mat-
what float does is that float return the larger whole number. Are you getting me? So we need to put this in a floor to convert that. So here we say math dot floor Flora Florence. We copy this, put in this. So if we come here and choose 3 days, we are going to have 3 what? 3 days. Is it 3 days? Are we getting the correct date? Yes or no? We are
Yes,
having
sir.
the event into the 18 from 18. Is it what? Is it 4 days? Because we not count today
Yes.
now. Today is already taken by hour, right?
Yes.
Are we communicating? Is there anything
Yes,
you don't
we are.
understand?
Understood.
You're fine.
Okay, we're going to finish this project this night too. Are we
My battery is
communicating?
way off. Communicate.
Abi when we close, when we go sleep.
No,
Right
sir.
on.
So
Right on. See, no
Go
dey.
go sleep.
go sleep now. Bye bye.
No, sir. Finish it.
Okay. So come, you people will give me data. I will upload this thing tomorrow. I no go upload them.
Yeah, no problem, sir.
People give me data.
Don't upload.
Ma drop Aza.
No, sir. Don't upload.
Okay, ma don't upload. That's nice. All right. So what I'm going to do next is const. Then next is hours equals to is it so we are going to do distance divided by hour. So we console the logs this. I need beer this night too. I want to do this thing now. Really hungry me like see hours is Right, let's see what's going to happen. So you can see that we have uh,
47.
47 hours. Really, that is wrong. Is it up to?
Yeah, remember we have to use the remainder to check for the hour.
So you
Correct,
can
it's
see.
correct, sir.
Is it correct?
Yes, it's correct.
72 hours.
71.
Huh?
It's 71.
So it's correct, but that you are forgetting about the day. There is day in that 72.
That is
That
what?
is correct,
There is day in that 72.
That is what?
Day.
sir.
What is the?
The number of days, 3 days and a few hours. So you have to use
Yes.
the remainder of those days. After calculating the days, use the
Exactly. We
remainder
need
to
to use
get
the
the hour.
remainder of those days because there is days in this. So we need to use remainder. So this is what remainder does, right? Let me show what remainder does. Let's see. You can't use remainder without them knowing what remainder does. Let's do console.log, right? Console.log. Um, let me show what remainder does. Console.log 10 remainder 5 2. Can this thing give you anything? Eh?
Zero.
Give you 0.
Yes,
What will it give you?
Zero.
Is it true?
that's no.
Okay, what will it give you, sir?
Zero.
Eh? 5.
The remainder is zero.
Eh?
Zero, sir, is
Zero.
zero.
This will give you 0, right? If you let me remove this outside the variable, outside the function. I don't need to run the function before it run. So this will give you 0, right? Right. So we need to get the remainder. So if you use 15, this cannot still give you. That's 17. 17 will give you remainder. 17 will give you remainder 1. Are you getting me? So we need to get the remainder. Then we divide that remainder into time, into hour. That will give us the exact what? Exact hour. So what we are going to do here is that hour going to be we need to put
My
this
floor.
thing on uh, we need to say so what we need to do is very simple. The distance so we need to add distance remainder days, the days, because the days, the day, so we need to use remainder. So we are going to use the remaining date that is remaining, then divide it by what. So I want this to first calculate this first before this, right? So I when you come to what they call it, is this in further mass or in what? So I want to first get the remainder, then use that remainder of that this and divide this. Are we communicating? Do you
Yes, sir.
understand?
Yes. Yes, very clear, sir.
So let me control log DNT and we get, so we are getting 23 hours blah 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 blah. So we need to convert it to what? To mass dot what? Flow to
Minute.
get it at odd number. Any question? Any question? Any
No, sir.
question?
It's clear.
Okay.
Ogame, you raise your hand, though.
Oh, sorry.
All right. So let me call the maths. You know, I get passion for teaching. I know for day by now. For don't sleep. Now pay me 1 million.
It's too much.
So
Some people don't sleep, use head, they press keyboard.
let's grab this and grab this. So this can give us what we want, right? This you can see we have 23 hours, right? So on 20th is about 1 hour 23
24 hours.
20,
Yeah, minus
1 a day is
1 hour.
23 hours. Are you getting me? 23 hours. So it is what it is and it is what it is.
The minute, seconds.
We need to get the seconds too now, minutes. So
Okay.
we get the second and minutes, then we'll close the class. we finish this thing, we dey 84. Okay. So let's get the minutes. Duplicate this. So I understand you won't understand this mathematics, Abi.
Yes.
Minutes, mass, distance, hour divided by minutes. Get the remaining hour, then divide them by what? Minutes. So same here with seconds. Get the remaining seconds. Seconds. Remaining minutes. Because something more remain. Those now. Do you know why I'm getting the remaining? Those 0.000 they are saying. Are you getting me? Minutes. So we are getting them. Are you getting me? That's why I use the remainder. May you know the remainder of the minutes. We know the true one by second. So let's have here control the log seconds, control the log minutes, and I'll call it for the day. Don't try. Man, no kill now. Well, you know now, you know gonna enter again. Just as no entering, no. Yeah, human being. It is what it is. Oh yeah, those that want to buy me beer this night, come buy me beer so that I'll feel get courage to stay away by this time. If you like, don't buy me beer, no problem. All the cool teaching at this night will come out finish. It is what it is. Alright, let's go have so this right, we have 1 day, 52 minutes and 37 seconds. So the next class we are going to populate this on our dump. So let's do an overview of the code. Can somebody do an overview of the code for us? Let's start from the top. An overview. Who can do overview of the code? Huh?
Over what, sir?
An overview of the code, yeah. A recap. Yeah? People of God. Boy, I don't tell you. You know that throughout I did almost feeds from meeting to meeting this night, class, and I'm supposed to get job I will deliver tomorrow. And the job I ended like this. My job did like this. It looks me. I API what they built for your company. I need to deliver. So this API basically APIs. And I'm not about API. So I don't do this realizer. So I need to work on it. I need to deliver this job with max test tomorrow. So I need to start coding. So nobody feel explain the code for us.
So that could not be anybody, mate.
But you know, soon I understand now.
Yes, now.
More I go catch me man deploy the code massive. Now they why me I don't deploy anything. Man,